What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Season Gaming Bitcast, episode 385. We have a special episode for you today with two of my good friends, equating to 4 full panelists that will be at Summer Game Fest next weekend, and we are pretty damn excited about it, I gotta say. We are also, Travis is joining us for a episode of Cast Co-op, is what this feels like. Since we wanted to cast Co-op before leaving for Summer Game Fest, we didn't get a chance. We're kind of doing it through Bitcast. So here we are. You have myself. You have the Thai guy back as always. How we doing, my friend?
We're doing good, dude. It's always a good show when our boy Hoeg is not around because while the cat's away, Ains and Travis talk mad shit. I believe that's the saying.
Is that how it goes? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how the saying goes. Yeah. No, it's good, man. Saying. I'm excited to be here. Excited for next weekend. Finally going to see you for the first time since my wedding. And a bunch of other people that I don't really get to see too much anymore. So I finally found a reason to go to Summer Game Fest. I told you I would, Ains. I told you I would.
Oh, no. Now I got to find a reason to go to IGN Live.
That's right. Do you not go to that usually as part of your...
Not usually, because it's in a different location and getting around LA is already a pain in the ass. But we'll figure it out since you're there.
Yeah, I don't know why IGN was like, hey, the same time SGF is, Playdays is a thing, we're doing IGN Live. It's very annoying.
Tough. Yeah, because we have a bunch of appointments.
Competitors,
Yeah.
I think IGN's trying to replace E3. I think that's their...
hard lull to that.
I don't talk to their events team, but we got some pretty good announcements.
Yeah. Maybe switch it to like a Friday or like a Thursday. I don't know. It's too much because it makes me have to make some hard calls, and that call is
I just
got to bounce around.
You shouldn't just seed the ground to Keeley. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's my thinking on it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's perfectly fair.
The guy needs some competition. That's what I say.
Yes. But joining us, as always, Joe's already here, is Mr. Badbed, host of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, a big fan of Super Mario World, I believe, and my brother, who I'll get to see next week again, man. Looking forward to it. How you doing?
Oh wait, me? That's you, Joe. Hey guys, first time.
Yeah, you're the host of the Trophy Room, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, then you're like, and I was like, all right, whatever. Hi, everybody.
I think it's Super Mario Soccer.
No, it's just Super Mario Brothers. This is my workout.
Soccer. What is that?
Yeah, it's just like all the gang. It's Yoshi, it's Luigi, Mario, and I got a hot take about Wario. Wario's just not a good character, both in design and just in general. He sucks.
Disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah, I mean,
Wario Land, like way back when, was very well done, very good. And then they wasted it when they made WarioWare. So then as a character, he faded. But like early on.
First of all, don't talk shit about WarioWare, Luke. don't do it. Not in this house.
Games. Oh, pick your nose, scratch your ass. Oh, isn't this
Tickle
funny?
An old man. Yeah,
exactly.
It's proof that Japan still has access to cocaine. That's why I play that game.
Waluigi, we get to keep. He's a sex symbol after all. Wario, we toss aside.
Wow.
First of all, it's Wario. Everybody calls him Wario. All right. That's just how he's
Wario.
We're starting off with a bang today. Did you say Wario?
Yeah.
Wario.
It's a Jersey thing, guys. It's like me how I say water.
Wario.
Yeah, don't say water on here. It's
exactly.
Bad. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just how that's just how my accent works.
Says Mario.
Yeah. No, those people actually we should be rounding with those people.
No, but it's Wario. R.
Yeah, it's Wario.
Wario.
Yes.
It's not Wario.
Wario. Am I saying it differently?
Travis, I'm hearing it, right? Like I'm not crazy.
I mean he's saying Wario with an O, yeah.
You're saying it like worry, like a U almost, like worry. Anyway.
These West Coast elites over here. Shit.
That's right.
Anyway.
Far west of Kansas
City. We're off and running this week already. Good friend of the show and Bitcast regular alongside Joe, of course, is Mr. Insipid Ghost, host of the Expansion Pass. Mr. Luke Lohr, how we doing, my friend?
So good, because today I learned that Skull and Bones is on sale for the Xbox sale for $4, and that is $4 too much.
I didn't expect you to bring up that game today, but here we are.
I just wanted to put it out there, let everyone know you don't have to buy it, even at $4.
You could, because the season 3 content is coming.
I know.
What?
Year 3, Ains.
Year 3, sorry. Year 3.
You got to be kidding me. They're making stuff in that game still?
They're still making. We talked about this on Bitcast last week. They're making stuff for Skull and Bones. They're making stuff for Honor still. You see year 10 for Honor. Ubisoft, they keep going.
Luke, have you played the game that you were talking shit about?
Yes, but only in year 1, I guess. I've not played years 2 and 3's content.
Yeah,
it was real dumb. I had to go get wood.
Played it.
It was real dumb.
Well, yeah, no, I'm excited to talk games with you boys. Because it's been a while. It's been a while. And there's been a lot of like really good games coming out.
Too many.
Know what I'm saying? Too many
good games. Yeah.
I literally dropped 007. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's really good. We'll talk about it, of course. But for the audience, for chat, good morning, good afternoon. Hoeg let us know a little late. He had a surprise getaway with Mrs. Hoeg. So obviously, we hope they're off enjoying themselves. But with that in mind, and Summer Game Fest next week, and Travis actually being in LA this year, I figured why not invite Luke and Joe on, since we're all together at Summer Game Fest like we were last year. So it'll be a good time. We're going to talk through all the showcases, give you the times, dates, what to expect. There's a few leaks already out there as usual. So we'll talk through all that. We, of course, have had 007 First Light come out. It's kind of a shame Hoeg's not here because that was his most anticipated game of the year. So we'll have to talk about that when we get back. And what do you think, Travis? Maybe he'll be like, a third of a way through it next month. We'll see. He'll get distracted by something. We also have Mina the Hollower, a couple other 90+ games that released this week, which is kind of crazy, and some other things to touch on, of course. But before we get to that, we do have some early super chats this morning, which this feels like a Googleman super chat, but it's not, Travis. So we're gonna hit it.
How surprising! All right, T-shirt fella Jarvis. Oh my god, and it's me. It's me. That's me with some regal hair. Yeah, I mean, I look so Californian in this photo, really.
There you go. See, that's your streamer look right there.
Yeah,
gonna get into
it. Good. I really don't like looking at this photo, to be honest with you.
It's all right, Travis in his Nickelback era.
He offers 10 euros and writes, "What up, my hung boys? Just hopped here from Earth 212C, and boy, what the hell's going on here? I'm playing on my Steam Deck 3 worth $299 eddies, but you're still on the first one for 1K. Treesus gist, man."
Don't know.
I mean, that might be Google, man. I don't know.
It could be Google, but it could be Shoosh. It could be a few other people.
Who's the one that makes all the fake accounts?
We don't know.
We don't know who that is. Yeah, probably that person.
We haven't had
the 10 euros.
I got your text, Ains. I accidentally capitalized fella in this post, but I did get your money and I did put in $10. Just
okay.
Nice. Okay. Well, whoever you are, hero, thanks for the 10 euros. I doubt that it will cover my therapy bills, but I appreciate it.
It's not going to cover a new Steam Deck, that's for sure.
Surely.
God knows.
So, T-shirt fella Jarvis, thank you. Appreciate you kicking us off. Mysterica Claus is here with 2 super chats, one on each side of the house. Hoeg, as always, just for anyone watching on Hoeg's side, he asked that we still do run the show on his channel, even though he's not here. That's why we do that. So we do check with him, and Mysterica was feeling generous this morning. So here's the first one.
Mysterica Claus, $5 super chat. I am suffering from a night out, but I am here. Here, but I'm so tired. Lol. Book nerds party hard, I tell you. Happy Sunday. I do know this. Book nerds do party hard. You also, who parties harder than I would expect, is board game folk. Board game folk go hard, dude. These guys up until 5 a.m. smashing down liquor and playing Blood on the Clock Tower. It's crazy. It's truly surprising.
I don't trust board game people.
Whoa.
Why not? Why?
Board games aren't fun. You got 15 minutes of fun, and then all of a sudden, you just get hit with boredom. There's too many rules. It's too convoluted. My
boy has never played Blood on the Clock Tower, and it shows.
Yeah. I don't agree with that at all, Joe.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of board games like that where you set in and you're just like, all right, I get the game now. It's just about rolling dice. Like I feel that way about Settlers of Catan. Like the first like 30 minutes are fun, and then after that, you're like, I'm just waiting for one of us to lose. Monopoly, etc. But there are things, Joe. I know you don't know this because you don't have friends, but there are things called party games, wherein the entire point is to have fun with your friends, and the 15 minutes of fun does not end because you have interesting friends and you're interesting. And I think maybe that's the problem here, is that
no, I'm just not a boring white person.
Games require
I just feel like that's boring white people activities. Oh, let's go play Monopoly and Parcheesi or Dominoes.
He called you Wonder Bread.
No, I think, Joe, what you'll find is that there's lots of people of color in these communities. You are simply not invited to the cookout in this case.
I don't want to be. That food is bland. There's no spice.
You know, I said the same thing when that girl rejected me in high school. I didn't want to date you anyway, and I'm getting that same energy here.
It's a lot of
really
black pepper.
You know what?
Spicy. You know, that type of energy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm moving on from this conversation. So, Mysterica, like I said, 2 super chats, similar on the other one.
Another $5 super chat from Mysterica Claus. Happy Sunday, y'all. Wait, this is the same one, isn't it? Oh no. Recovering from a book night out and book nerd night out, but I still made it still. Tongue out, smiling face. Ignore the snoring later. Wow.
Yeah. No, I think she just wanted to support both channels. So thank you.
Oh, it was on a different the other one. Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And hope you feel better later today. We've all been there. Mr. Don Lionheart is here.
Don Lionheart, $5 super chat. SGF baby. Can't wait to see you fellas later this week. We got lots of plans and coverage awaiting for the audience.
True.
Woot.
This is true. There's a pretty packed schedule for sure. Pretty packed schedule.
An audience awaiting your coverage.
Yeah.
That's why, Ains, when you were like, maybe I'll make it over to IGN Live. I'm like, when?
I know. That's the problem.
We've got like double the appointments this year for our little channel, and it's like, I don't know how you're doing it. Like, there's so much more this year. It feels like
I have nothing. I've got just my thing on Sunday. I don't even know what I'm doing Saturday. I'm getting there Friday night, and I'm like, what are we doing, boys?
Help do some coverage for XP. There's no money involved.
What does it pay? Oh yeah, no, definitely not. I don't get out of bed for less than $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's Don is
That's what I had board games for, Joe.
Oh my god, these guys killing me.
Every time Ains starts a sentence,
seriously,
we should start talking.
Sorry, what was that, Ains?
Shut up.
What are you guys doing for lunch later?
I don't know, but actually I do have to bring my dog in. One sec, boys. What's that?
I just muted them both. So anyway, yes, Don is joining us, Alex and Ray. So we got 4 people covering for SG this year, which will be fun. As Luke said, there's a lot of appointments and things happening, which is going to be a blast. And yeah, to your point, Travis, all jokes aside, last year, June was the biggest month for SG ever in terms of volume and traffic. So it's a good time. Good time.
This guy, Joe, I can see straight into his bathroom when he opens the door. He's got hangers hanging on the wall on the door. I mean, this is just.
Yeah. Mom was sitting.
I feel like
he's never podcasted before. It's new to him.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
Anyway, let's get into it. So 007 is here, boys. I don't know, Joe, Luke, how excited you were for this game or how much you've played it, but big game comes out rocking a 90+ open and Metacritic. Seems super beloved by everyone I talk to. Alex finished it I think Friday or yesterday, put a review up, so we'll have that review up on SG side. He's very, very high on it. You guys playing this?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I've just about beat it. Just about.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are you playing the game?
What's that?
Are you playing the game though?
Yeah, I'm playing the game. I mean, yeah, I'm about to beat it.
Oh, the game. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, the game.
Got it.
Where I lost them. Yeah, no, I've been playing a lot of 007 First Light. In my word, it's a really good video game. Like in a land that like we've been missing James Bond for a while now, both in like movies and especially games. It's terrific. Like, yeah, when we first heard the announcement of like IO is going to handle James Bond, I don't think there was any doubt of the gameplay being good because it just sounded like a match made in heaven. But when you think about like IO and their storytelling, you think of like Agent 47, a barcode on his head, and I kind of forget everything else about like Hitman. No, putting over 100 hours into Hitman 3, I just know Berlin's one of the best maps in a video game. But that's just because of the nightclub just being so interactive, right? Nothing to do with the story. So I want to give big props to IO Interactive for legitimately making a great James Bond story and a compelling, this is James Bond's first big mission. He's not yet a 00 type of story without really stripping him of who he is. Like, he's very much James Bond from the rip, and he still has like the charm, the charisma, like the suaveness of James Bond, just the cool factor, the dumb one-liners. Like, he still has all of that, but they also give him room to grow in other aspects that are a little bit more like, I know, they're not so much like face level type of things. Like, he's still unproven. They just do such a good job here, man. And then at the same exact time, like giving you the nostalgia, like the narrative beats you would expect a James Bond movie to do, but it's not like in the Star Wars level, let's just throw nostalgia at the viewers until they're satisfied. They still take various turns to kind of switch things up a little bit. So yeah, narratively, I was actually more surprised how much I really clung to the story of James Bond, and also I forget his name. I think his last name's Gibson, the man who's playing James Bond. A stellar performance. Like, so many James Bond games, you have like Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery reprising their roles. So it's huge shoes to fill. And Gibson just does such a great job creating a Bond that is very much his own while still following the structure of what James Bond is, So like, this is kind of like his Casino Royale moment. And it's very easy, very quickly to see that he is, in fact, James Bond. He's just terrific.
Yeah, I think I'm still early in the game, about 4 or 5 hours. I don't know how early that is. It feels early. But it does such an amazing job of like onboarding. Like, it's immediately engaging. And then as you work in that early part of the game to kind of join MI6, no spoilers here, of course, but join MI6 and be part of that crew. Like, I'm not sure I remember a game that's based on like a big IP or movie or something like that that felt that like just engaging is probably still the right word. Like, I was so like in tune with Bond and young Bond, but also like all the characters surrounding him. Like, everyone is just really damn well done.
Yeah.
And it's crazy like how invested I was with the crew and the people at MI6 and M and Q and Moneypenny and everyone, like, right away. Like, there was no delay and like, oh, this isn't this person, or it's just like, it felt like you were in as part of that crew like right away. It's really pretty amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, and his relationship with all these characters as well. Sorry, Luke, I'll let you go in just a second. Just so well done, because they do a really good job of making you care for each one of these characters. Sorry, Luke, go for it.
No. I think because I have not had a chance to play it yet. I've been on gaming hiatus, it feels like, and just kind of watching from afar. But my initial interest in First Light was very strong, but timid, because what we see is such a young character that looks very boyish, not like a grown man, certainly not like Daniel Craig, who we saw hardened over his time, certainly not like Pierce Brosnan or Timothy Dalton or even Roger Moore. Like, he looks very much his own character and a child almost, comparatively in many cases. And so to see it be so well received is wonderful. To see also in the lead up, it almost looked like IO was desperate to get people to look at their game and play it. Twitch drops, upgrades, advertisements everywhere, every single place, that it had me worried, I guess you might say. Now, I am an avid player of Hitman. I very much loved Hitman's 1, 2, and 3. So many great experiences to be had there. To see that formula be adapted and evolved for 007 has me all the more excited to play it because I just genuinely love third-person action games. But wonderful to see this perception. And how great is it that they took an established character that has gone through any number of political changes and visual changes, aesthetic changes, and just ideas of what Bond is or should be over the course of the past 4 decades. And they made their own spin on it, and it was successful. And that's a really nice thing to see. So I am all the more anxious to play it. And I wonder greatly what they do in DLC or a follow-up or anything else like that. It's just really nice to see an evolution of a character and a new
And Slayer Giant in the chat writes, the game expertly handles the quote.
That's Alex.
Is non-relevant. Oh, Alex, sorry, buddy. Question in the modern age. And they really do. Like, you know, I remember, I think one of the writers of James Bond going like, yeah, Austin Powers really ruined James Bond for us, of like how we deal with all the gadgets, gizmos, and all of it. And honestly, like what this game does is like, no, we're not going to abandon those things because we got parodied real good. We're going to lean into them, and we're going to do it in a very clever way. And so, like, you know, you have like a Dart smartphone. You still have the Q watch that does all the cool things. And the game very much feels they do such a good job of going like, this is an IO game, but it doesn't necessarily just feel like, it doesn't feel like a Hitman game. Like it feels like its own different take on espionage. To me, it actually feels more like Watch Dogs than it does Hitman, where you're really manipulating the environment to trick people into doing whatever you really need them to do in the moment. Like the puzzles are sorted in such a different fashion, and James is very much you know, I'm brute forcing the solution, where Agent 47 is, hey, I need to be as sneaky as possible because guns, I'm allergic to them. You know, it's so like James is about, hey, screwing up and you know, being okay with working in the improv of the espionage, right? So you might have to break, you know, your stealth for just a second or two to dispatch 2 guys. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the mission, and you just carry forward. And it feels more rewarding that way for James. It's kind of, when I think about it, it's like, man, that's kind of what I wanted like Outlaws to be. You know, that smuggler feeling. This one really does, really makes me feel as though I'm in James's position and puts me in the shoes of James Bond just perfectly. And again, then it's like, it's IO. So like, you know, the level design is going to be top notch, though it's much more like akin to, again, like a Watch Dogs meets like an Uncharted type of like more like linear feeling, but it's damn near good. There's only like 2 problems I have with it. The AI are really stupid. And some of them are insanely nearsighted and at maybe even deaf. And that takes me out of it a bit. And some of the combat, just where the buttons are, kind of throws me off. Sometimes I'm trying to run and I end up like, crouching instead, like the little things. But yeah, man, it's fantastic. It really is.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. I'm excited to play it more. Travis, you get in? You in on this?
Yes. As you know, Ains, I am a big Bond guy. I think we've talked about this on the show, whether it's me singing Gold Frame here on the show, or me being able to cite from memory the theme songs of every single Bond movie. We had that quiz.
Honor Majesty Secret Service.
This is something I really, really want to.
He just threw a question at you.
He's dodging.
Put you on the spot. Question? Put you on the spot.
Theme song, Honor Majesty Secret Service.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service is I don't remember it now.
Well, Travis's credibility is completely shot here, guys.
Anyway.
No way.
I give that a 7.
Hey, I give me a little credit. I know nothing about music. And I was still able to remember the artists from the songs that have done it. And I'm not a music guy. Like, I don't know any artists' names. Anyway, that will come to me, by the way. I will think of it. It will come to me. But yeah, I'm a big Bond guy, and I actually took a class in college called Focus on James Bond. This is a real story. My class, my college did a course that was on James Bond, and there was just this professor who just knew everything about the Bond series, and I was like, hell yeah, I want to take that class. I took it just for fun. It was not part of my did not help me graduate at all. just purely for fun.
I would hope
these woke colleges, let me tell you.
That was
they're out of control.
Out of control.
Are there not woke colleges?
I think so. This James Bond.
Where are the non-woke colleges? Anyway,
look out a university in mind. Might be a little bankrupt at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm very eager to play more of this game because I'm still focused on Crimson Desert. I'm like 70 hours into this second playthrough of Crimson Desert for the potential re-review. But I have put like maybe 6 or 7 hours into this game. I do have some notes. My biggest problem with this game is that it is an origin story for James Bond, which is completely unnecessary. I think one of the advantages of James Bond is that you can just jump right in the middle, and like people hear Moneypenny and they go like, yep, know that. They know who M is. They know who James Bond is. And you don't have to explain any of that. And so it feels very odd to me in a game with all those advantages to decide to tell an origin story. Like, you don't need to at all. You really can just jump in. And so like the parts of the game that I've played, which are like the beginning and kind of like most of the first act at this point, they spend a lot of time telling you stuff you already knew. And I feel like everyone already knew that they did not need to show us. Like, I didn't need to go and like get recruited into the 00 program and like meet all these characters that I just like have seen for 30, 40 years. Like, it's just not really necessary. So I think that's an odd choice. I get that show, like the most recent Daniel Craig James Bond series also chose to make that same decision. I don't know why they keep doing this. I feel like it's just like a bad decision for the James Bond series, but they really like to do it. So whatever, go off, King. I also think it is a little close to a Hitman game. I agree that it's not exactly the same thing, but like when I play it, I feel like, oh yeah, this is IO's thing, right? And I think that is, again, it has a little bit more action. That's cool, but there is like an awful lot of sneaking. There is like the dumb AI. There's just like things that just remind me that this is like that studio, and I don't know necessarily that that's what Bond games should have to feel like. To me, the Bond game I'm waiting for is closer to Alpha Protocol, but without all the problems, than it is to Hitman. And this feels much farther than the Alpha Protocol kind of spy RPG game that I was hoping for, right? And so I'm still early. I have a lot to see of this game. I really like the set pieces. My first impressions are, I'm sick of the origin story of Bond. Like, I don't know why people keep doing this. You really don't need it. It's not as goofy as I would like it to be either. I'm a fan of goofy Bond most of the time. Most of the time I like goofy Bond. And this Bond is like, this is more grounded. Like, he's dealing with like real problems rather than like silly villains with predilections for octopuses or whatever. And so yeah, there's that. And then also just like a little bit too Hitman-y for me. So that's where I'm at so far. Still early. I don't have a lot of time to focus on this, but I'm a little bit of a Bond snob. So my opinions here might be, there's a reason I didn't review this game, I guess is what I'm telling you.
Well, Travis, talk to me about the need for origin stories, because at certain times the technology evolves pretty heavily for a story to be relevant, right? Like facial recognition changes almost all of spycraft. So like, how often do you need an origin story if you're going to establish an IP?
I think you need an origin story if the audience doesn't already know it. So like, obviously if you're doing a new IP, do an origin story. If you're making a Spider-Man game, don't show me Uncle Ben get killed. I don't need to know that information. It's already sort of like, wait, the On Her Majesty's Secret Service is John Barry. It's coming to me. It's the orchestral one. It's John Barry.
Yes.
Anyway,
I can see the Google search for your glasses.
I
kind of disagree though. I kind of feel like, especially right now with so much time away from Bond, like I'm thinking about new audiences. I'm thinking about people like myself who like could use a refresher because it's been like a long ass. So I think for like people that are returning and like for people that, you know, or maybe new, like I was at GameStop the other day and I saw like a father and a son pick up that game. I'm like, I think this intro sequence, these first 2 hours going to be really aimed at this kid more than the father, but both of them are going to end up enjoying it equally, you know, for their own different reasons. I think you do need to set this Bond, his universe, these characters and their motivations, because they are a bit slightly different than the M's in, you know, the Pierce or the, you know, Daniel.
Yeah, I think you can introduce how your characters are new. Like that's something every Bond series has to address, is like what's their take on M and what's their take on, you know, all these characters. But I don't think you have to reintroduce them to us. I think you can kind of teach that without doing the origin story. That said, kind of figuring out like how, like your version of how Bond gets recruited and like where he comes from originally and like how he learns that skill set can be interesting. I just don't think that they have, at least early in the game, given a super good reason for why this needed to be an origin story.
Well, fair enough.
That's sort of where I'm at with it. Like they haven't shown me anything where it's like, oh, well, this is drastically different, or Bond's background is like way changed. And so we kind of have to see the beginning. It's sort of like I met Moneypenny and I was like, yep, that's Moneypenny. And then I met M and I was like, yep, that's M. Wife. And then I went out and I was like, okay, this is sort of all like, this is exactly what I expected it to be. And I just feel like they're just taking a lot of unnecessary time to explain the stuff I already knew about how James Bond works. And I feel like most of the audience is that way. And if you don't know it, if you need a refresher, guess what? You got 27 James Bond movies you can watch. There's a lot of them and they all address this problem. And so I just think that for the audience that they're likely to get off of this, everybody's going to know it and they didn't need to tell it. But again, this is like a nitpick of the fact that I'm in the early part of the game, and like the early part of the game, a lot of times they're a little bit slower. And so we'll see how it picks up. I'm still early on, but.
And I will say, like, it takes, I think one of the problems with this game and also like Lego Batman in particular is like, takes a little bit too long to get me in the conflict. But then once the conflict starts, it's like, all right, now we're cooking with gas. Now this is, you know, like once you hit the tutorial, which is a really awesome sequence, and you get to finally the first mission that you see in the state of play, then from there on it just keeps ramping up. I like how they give you your gadgets and your gizmos and how they introduce them to you a lot. And yeah, like I think I saw in the chat like the bluff mechanic as well, where you walk into a room, someone spots you, and you know, depending on how many I forget what they call it, but like points you have that you earn while in combat,
credibility or whatever.
Credibility points. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. That sounds right. You're able to bluff your way out of things, fake surrender, and knock them out. But like it's so, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's the James Bond. Like, oh, I got caught. Think of something really fast, and he does, and it totally works.
That part's cool. And I also want to like give praise to the stuff I like. Like I think the music is incredibly good. I know a lot of it's James Bond, like they do the James Bond theme, but I think they kind of dance around it, like tease you with it rather than just like going straight forward, which I think is really cool. Just like the performances are really good. I'm still not really sold on this Bond yet, but again, I'm a Bond snob, and I'm early, so I haven't really seen him prove himself yet. But I like that. He does. Ains, have you seen online how everybody's saying he looks like Henry of Skalitz?
He does a little bit.
Yeah. People are putting pictures of him and Henry Skalitz and just being like, I'm quite hungry, you know, like all his like little.
I'm feeling quite hungry.
Yeah. He does look like Henry Skalitz.
He does a bit. I generally I see your point about, rehashing things. And I think especially for old Fs like me who have been around with Bond for decades now, like I don't need to rehash it. But I disagree with you guys on the first few hours taking long. Like I'm not sure I've been that engaged with the first few hours of a game in anything recently. It really drew me in because, and I think it's almost kind of funny enough, Travis, it's almost kind of the opposite effect where like I do know M and I do know Moneypenny and I do know Q and I know all these characters, but being able to take the role of a fresh new Bond and make that my own experience, going to meet them, getting yelled at, being the cocky guy who's messing up, getting to do all that hands-on, I really enjoyed. So
yeah, I think my issue specifically with the intro, which was like the first session I played, I think I got to like when you officially get your letters and they hire you and then you go on your first mission. Like I ended like right at the beginning of that first mission, and my feeling was that the game felt a little bit like a crevice crawler to me. Like specifically that opening mission, like you're kind of like taking small steps and then getting interrupted and then some story things happening and then you're walking a little bit more and then it's like tutorializing, and it just felt like, oh no, are they doing this? Is it going to be like me crawling through rocks and limping along while character voices happen? I don't, it ended up not being that, thank God, but just my feeling at the beginning was that the tutorial was flashy and it did a good job introing you to kind of like James, but it also it just reminded me of like this thing that's happening in the games industry where everybody feels the need to make everything like slow and serious. And that's not Bond to me. To me, Bond is like him skiing down away from an avalanche, while
supposedly it gets there again.
I'm early. I'm waiting for that stuff to happen.
You're hashtag Hoeging it right now.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
you're Hoeging it.
I'm in that 10-hour Hoeg review window for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna get some silliness.
At the risk of
it's fun.
Sorry, at the risk of like transitioning too hard, you guys are talking about the opening of Bond, which again I've not played, but I know Lego Batman is one of our topics. I want to talk about the intro of that game versus the game's experience, if it's a good time to transition.
Yeah, let's do it.
We need to transition considering we've been on the Bond for like 30 minutes. So yes. Go.
Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is a game that is clearly like targeted for me. I'm a diehard Batman fan. I'm sitting in the Batman chair. I love every Arkham game. In many ways, this allows the Arkham franchise to be more approachable for younger audiences or people that maybe don't have an interest in getting into Arkham, but they find that they like this. However, the opening hours of Lego Batman take far too long to get going into what makes the game so good. And what makes the game's storytelling so fun, which is seeing all the eras of Batman mishmashed together, seeing the Easter eggs, hearing how characters would interact had they been in timelines that were similar or kind of aligning to one another. But there is such a long road to get there. It takes like an hour and a half to 2 hours of gameplay before you're able to like see open world Gotham and get a bat suit even. And I find that a real bummer because there's, off the bat, you can purchase different editions or pre-ordered or whatever. So you have all these cool outfits, but you don't get to wear them. And you're stuck in Nolan's Batman Begins style for a little while before you're able to even put on a suit or talk to Alfred or drive a Batmobile, and you have access to plenty. And so the opening 2 hours are so limited in scope that I worry people will bounce off of it versus what they get once they begin exploring open world Gotham, exploring Batman history. And the chapters are different Batman eras. And I've only played through 2 chapters, but I've got quite a few hours into this game. And it's really neat to see. I just worry that people will bounce off too early if they're not getting Batman, because early on they're getting Ninjutsu Bruce.
Yeah, it's just Bruce in those few hours. Okay.
Yeah, and I totally agree with Luke here. I think the one issue that I have with Lego Batman, because overall I think it's great, and it really is like Lego Arkham Batman, but like I get it. It really just feels like an Arkham game. This like the combat is just 1 for 1. Even the stealth is like very forgiving, but it's Arkham. And it just takes way too long to start. And the one thing that bothers me in its storytelling is it's trying to be its own story, but also taking parts of the movies as inspiration. And it kind of feels like it's trying to balance what Lego games done it before in the past, like, hey, this is Lego prequels 1 through 3, right? And then trying to tell its own story. And I just don't think it nails it all too well, because you get two versions of the Joker and they both end somewhat differently, and they both don't have satisfying endings, and some villains get introduced in very wacky ways. And while I appreciate what they're trying to do, because like every chapter is like it's a combination of like 1 or 2 eras combined, I would have actually liked them to do something more like First Light, where it's like, this is our own version of Lego Batman, it's his own different story, and we don't have to rely on, again, like the Star Wars, let's just throw nostalgia. Hey, this is Mr. Freeze. Here's a joke from, Batman and Robin, that type of stuff. But overall, like the world, to me, I actually feel like it feels very much like an Arkham game with its combat, but then the open world, it feels very much like a Lego City Undercover. And I'm like, this is actually very much a spiritual successor if you just take the open world elements. And the game is so much fun when it's not trying to just constantly pay homages to things. So like, while I think it's a great game, I think it trying too hard to go, hey, you remember this? Hey, you remember that? Just hurts it a little bit. But I don't know about you, Luke. I don't know if you felt anything like that, but as much as I enjoyed it, I was like, this is not how the Joker sequence goes down. This is not Bane.
I think one of the problems that you're feeling right now is ironically something you and I talk about quite often when we look at Christopher Nolan, James Gunn, Tim Burton, Zack Snyder, all these interpretations of the same story. And that's part of it. And I think the joy of Lego Batman is that they offer this amalgamation of different characters and different versions of characters. And like, indeed, you open up the roster of bat suits and it tells you about each one with little in jokes for each one. Martha, like it does that. And so if it's not meant to be, that's not how the Joker goes. That's how this Joker does it. And the joy of the Arkham games was that they took all of the animated series characters and gave them an adult flair. The joy of the Snyderverse is this dark, foreboding sense. The joy of the Gunverse is that it's this childlike interpretation of these characters in suits that are bright and colorful. And that's the joy of each one. And it means something different to each person. So I did not find frustration with how those characters' stories were being told. I just remembered that everybody has their Superman, their Batman, their Bond. And that's kind of on us as the audience to interpret. My issues were more gameplay. I had to up the difficulty. I'm a bit bored as an Arkham fan because like I want to gadget fight everybody. Sure. And I'm the guy that has the gold Batman suit in Arkham. So like I'm like, oh, I just tried to zip claw this thing and glue gun that. And I was like, oh, that doesn't work like that. This is baby's first Arkham. Yeah. But that's not what the game's trying to be. It's not trying to be gadget everything. It's trying to be baby's first Arkham. And that's great. Just as Pokemon introduces people to RPGs, so too can this Lego Batman introduce people into another level of gameplay. But it just takes too long to get going. I did see the spiritual successor context, which you said for Lego City Undercover. I see that in there. Yeah. And then my only other gripe is that I wanted it to be not a co-op event often. Like they force you into using 2 characters in everything. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. I don't want that. But I also made peace with it very quickly because the characters are all fun to use.
Yes. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I haven't gotten to Lego Batman yet just because there's too many games. So
and Luke is a huge Batman fan, by the way.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No, he owns literally every single Catwoman suit.
All of them.
Yeah,
all of them. He has them in a case of mannequins.
I do see him licking himself quite often.
If I wore underwear, it'd be Robin.
Well, you told me it's a thong.
Joe, there are some things. Okay.
I tried to touch the case once, and he said,
"Seems like Luke kind of has the problem I have with Bond, which is like you have too many opinions about Batman to be like a normal person when it comes to Lego Batman."
A great analogy. Yes, agreed.
I mean, you guys can't be normal people anyway, but yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm just saying, by the sometimes you're so hard in the paint, it's really hard for you to be.
Yeah, of course.
If your goal as a reviewer is to like kind of give a normal person's review of the game, then you're gonna have a really hard time reviewing games that you have that many kind of pre-existing opinions about.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good thing though.
Depends on the type of game, yeah. Travis, I can't remember, not to circle back on this, but real quick, I can't remember. You and I agreed on our favorite Bond, and Hoeg was the weird one, or am I misremembering?
Yeah, I'm a Moore guy.
Yes, okay, me too. Yeah. And Hoeg said Brosnan, and we made fun of him for it.
Yeah, we did. Daniel. I mean, Brosnan is like the most Hoeg answer of ever.
I have a hot take.
All right. Of course, Luke said the boring answer, but that's fine.
No, it's not boring. It's the most evolved version of that character, and you saw a full arc from start to finish, which you don't get with all of the others. The others had their 1 and 2 off movies, like Roger Moore's arc of his many Bonds. They don't tell an overall story of Roger Moore's Bond. They've only got a few like inroads, whereas Craig has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I will say my favorite Bond, because I grew up with him, is Brosnan. Like that was
I mean, that is the reason that people like him, right? Because he was the one that they had, but that like he is probably the worst. I mean, he's one of the worst.
Okay, well
he's not quite as bad as Jimmy Bond. You guys know this one?
Jimmy Bond.
Jimmy? Yeah, the first Bond movie ever was made by an American production company with no consultation from the European forces that created the character. And he was an American named Jimmy Bond who did not have the accent. And that was actually the first filmed version of Casino Royale, and it is unwatchable. It's absolutely horrid. And then they made an actual Bond movie later.
But I'm with Luke. Like Brosnan is like, when I think of James Bond, that's who I'm thinking of. But the best one is Craig. He's a better actor. He has a start, a beginning, middle, end. He evolves as a character over time. Good. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, I like George Lazenby, but that's me.
Ains looks like a Sean Connery guy.
No, Roger Moore. Both Travis and I said Roger Moore.
Yeah, I mean Roger Moore. Like
he's the English gentleman, man. Come on.
Say what you want about like. I think Roger Moore has the better movies, period. Mm-hmm. Like if you were like Travis, you can only watch one version of Bond's movies. I'm not choosing Connery. He's got too many duds. He's got one where he becomes like Japanese. That's a weird movie. Daniel Craig has some good ones, but half of those movies are just okay, right? I'm not watching Quantum of Solace. I'm not watching
Quantum only works in context of the greater arc.
Well, see that's not a good argument.
But it's a bad movie, though. It's a bad movie.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch a movie, you don't say, I'll watch this movie. It's not very good, but when I think about the whole picture, it's okay. Like
Roger Moore's library of movies is way more solid than any of the other actors that have portrayed the character.
I don't agree.
What was the last Craig movie? I watched it and I was like, wow, this was not good.
That one's actually
like literally the latest
really
one.
good. It's really good.
The two ones that are not good in Daniel Craig's are Quantum of Solace and
Skyfall.
No, one after Skyfall.
You're not talking Spectre, are you?
Spectre's unwatchable.
Spectre's amazing. You guys are crazy.
No, it's not. It's bad.
I would say it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, it's not great. He's got two duds out of 5, man. I mean, that's not a great track record.
You can argue Quantum all day, and I'll say yes, but the rest of them are great.
Quantum of Solace is so bad for so many reasons. It's definitely the worst one, but yeah.
It was his time of nothing. He lost his love.
All right,
yeah, they didn't have to make a movie about nothing.
We made a 2.5 hour movie of his time of nothing, and that's a good movie. No, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
We're moving on.
Boys, before we get to Summer Game Fest and everything we want to talk about there, any other games? I know Mina the Hollower came out. This is not for me in that sense, so it's super highly rated and regarded. Does anyone want to touch on that really quick? Or
I bought it because Kyle threatened to shoot me if I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a big yacht club fan. So I'm
gonna
have
to talk to him next week. Yeah, I caught flack this week in Discord, and I've said this before. This is not a new opinion, but you guys know this. I think Shovel Knight is horrendously overrated.
Whoa!
I know that
it's so wrong.
I know that Yacht Club is like beloved, and everyone's been waiting for this game. And people tell me this game I'll probably like better, so I will try it eventually. It's on Game Pass, by the way, so you can just play it if you have Game Pass. But I haven't played it yet. I want to.
Yeah. I bought this game. I downloaded it. I've got it queued up for when I have like a pocket of hours. But I'm literally splitting my time between the review I'm doing, some stuff I can't talk about, and then Forza, Bond, and this are going to be like my trio of recreational games, which are tough to share, but I do love that they're all so different. I'm really excited for this. Shovel Knight is not overrated. It's incredibly freaking good. It's incredibly good.
It's not my kind of game.
No. The people who say Shovel Knight is incredible are people who actually weren't alive when NES games were out, because the problem is it tries to replicate the NES era, and it does so with all of the fault of that era.
Let's talk about the news, guys.
There's just better games.
Anyway, Ains, his opinions on this are irrelevant. Yeah. Nobody cares.
Travis is a kid. That's why he doesn't know.
We're gonna move on. And
he's like 25 years old. He doesn't get it.
First of all, I was 25 years old when you met me. I've known you for like what 10 years now. Like I'm like, God, I can't just be 25 forever, bro.
I mean, you're trying. I give you credit for it.
Shovel Knight's incredible, and I think this will probably be really good. I mean, I just love the style of it, and I trust this developer to make this type of game. So.
To credit them, all jokes aside, right? I didn't care for Shovel Knight in that sense, and that's okay. We reached out to Yacht Club Games this week. They were super responsive, super nice. Brian is doing a review of Mina. Mina looks more like my type of game, or at least more in the vein of that I would hope than Shovel Knight did. So I am looking forward to playing it. So credit to Yacht Games, credit to the obvious success that they're seeing with this. It's critically huge, so it's cool to see. All right, last thing I was going to comment on, Travis, we were joking about getting to marathon level 100. I'm about to hit 97 as of last night.
I got to 76 and I haven't been able to log on in 2 weeks, so I'm going to try doing it during season 2 is my plan.
I think I'm like a level 112 or something like that.
Nice.
Man, dude, I love what's the new enemy that's like the flying ship that just shoots missiles in the sky?
Dude, that thing was wrecking me last night. Yeah.
Oh man, we've killed him twice so far. Such a fun fight, and I love getting third partied and third partying people trying to beat him. It's so chaotic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They added some stuff, right? Like some new enemies and shit in the most recent update, because they're calling it the finale. I just saw that there was a finale, but I didn't get to play a single match.
They added the enemy Joe's talking about. They're adding more enemies in season 2, which comes Tuesday. But they did other things, like the warden always drops keys now. The warden spawns every time. Like there's lockdowns every time on Dire Marsh. It's like the culmination of the season. So
season 2 looks amazing. From the start. Should have been the thing from the start, though.
Yeah.
Of like, these things are on every match.
But it's been crazy because like been running cryo and stuff, and everyone, it's end of the season, so everyone's just using all their gear. Everyone's kitted out, and it's just absolute chaos. So it's been a lot of fun, but I'm pumped about season 2 coming Tuesday. So, and the updates they've shown have been really cool. So, but we'll talk more about that in future. For now, we have a Summer Game Fest to get to. Before we do that, reminder, let's go ahead and share this out. Hit that like button if you haven't. Share this out, and we'll get into it here. I also forgot at the top of the show, which I've done that a couple times now. I got to stop. Ty did create picks this week, and I let her know that Hoeg was out this week, and Joe and Luke were going to be on. So we have some goofy pictures here. I actually asked her, I was like, is that Joe? So it doesn't kind of look like Joe,
boy. It's going to be offensive. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not offensive. It's just funny looking. There you go.
Jesus Christ, where do we begin?
That doesn't even look like an AI picture. It looks like a stock photo.
Wait, what?
That's not Joe at all.
Joe, they whitewashed.
It really did.
That's like that's like me as a baby playing
up.
Joe in a movie.
Yeah.
Travis looks like the 4th grade version of a 5th grade version of me, but somehow I became Asian.
Like, really, I think you look like you were raised off of Mountain Dew and Limp Bizkit.
You've kind of like oval eyes.
It's very strange.
Yep.
It's very
Joe
strange.
looks like he just went through the Get Out treatment. This 100%. Is his new body. Yeah.
This is successful.
My God.
Ains,
Travis, yes.
Yours makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing. Yeah. And Travis is a ginger with a big nose again. So I loves him.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
Dobby's playing PlayStation, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, Ty, thank you as always. Forgot to get to this out of the top, but let's get into it. So boys, just before I said let's get into it, just before we go to Summer Game Fest, we did get the announcement this week from CD Projekt Red. Witcher 3, 12 years after its release, is getting a new expansion. The rumors were true. It's getting an expansion that's releasing next year called Songs of the Past. And it's being developed by CDPR along with Fool's Theory. Fool's Theory is another company that helped on some of the Witcher content previously. And they've said that this will have the size and scope as of Blood and Wine, which is crazy to think about because Blood and Wine itself is like a 40, 50, 60 hour experience, depending on how much time you want to disappear into it. So this was amazing news. Obviously, Witcher 3, one of the most celebrated games of all time, one of my favorite games of all time. Pumped for this. But is it strange they're doing this, or are they looking at this as more of a redo interest in Witcher before Witcher 4 kind of takes?
I would not be surprised if this had direct sort of like plugins to the next game. I think they did this with what game was it where they had a DLC right for a very old game right before the new one came out. This happened with a recent like AAA sequel.
Good question.
I don't know.
So I'll give an example that I know for sure. Like Mass Effect did this. Mass Effect 2. They had a like the Arrival DLC right before Mass Effect 3, where it came out. Like Mass Effect 2 was a very old game by this point, and then they were like final expansion right before the game comes out, and it was like a lead-in episode. I don't think they can do that as directly with The Witcher 3, but I think they're going to get like close to that, or perhaps make this like a send-off for the Geralt version of The Witcher, because I don't think he's going to be appearing, at least in the same form he appears in this game, in future games. And so my theory is that this is in some way related to like a send-off for Geralt / transition to the Ciri era of Witcher. That's my only explanation for how they justify this game. And
so do you think Witcher 4 is, let's just say this comes out in February, do you think Witcher 4 is like an October release? Like it's a very short after like window until Witcher 4?
I don't think we get Witcher 4 next year.
No, definitely not.
Personally, I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, kind of weird. We get Unreal or Epic announcing Unreal Engine 6 with a Rocket League announcement last week too, while like all these big games like Witcher 4 obviously have celebrated Unreal 5 too. I
think there's a good chance they announce The Witcher 4 for release next year, but given CD Projekt Red's record, it's going to be delayed.
Yeah, I think it's
and so I think you could see it at the Game Awards in December, like The Witcher getting a trailer and like a 2027 like logo, and then I think that'll just inevitably get pushed to 2028. So I think even if it's announced for 2027, it's not actually going to come out in that year.
You know, a fleeting thought about Witcher 4's release is it kind of jumps me back to Cyberpunk, like the idea that they're trying to relaunch it on this gen, but really it's for next gen. I wonder if that's a thing for them. Like they're like, really, we need the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox Series, whatever, in order to showcase the best of what it is. And then they're looking at hardware costs and they're like, maybe we can't do that. I wonder if that happens in any way. We have no evidence to say that it is, other than the precedent that like they said Cyberpunk would be an Xbox One and PlayStation 4 game, and that was bad. So I just wondered if that was a thing that for Witcher 4.
One would hope they learned their lesson from from that, and then went, no, this is very much meant for just PS5, just Xbox Series, and like maybe their sequels are looking at it as like cross-gen versions of the game, but I think this one in particular is focused on PS5. You know what I mean? This current, this current gen. But I'm excited, man. I'm a new Time Witcher fan. I played that during its 10th anniversary, and I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my god, this game rips. So
it's an all-timer.
It really is. Like that and Elden Ring. Like they flip for me, man. They're massive.
Those are 1 and 1.
Yeah. Base take.
Why are you laughing?
Just this conversation's hilarious.
Why?
I just, wasn't expecting to hear Elden Ring as an old timer, but I guess it is. There you go.
No, all-timer. All-timer.
Oh, I thought you said old timer.
No. All-timer.
I was like, it's an old game for sure.
So it's the Jersey accent again. It's coming in.
Old timer.
But yeah, so we'll see what comes of that. And obviously CDPR, they've said they're, obviously developing this Witcher 4 and the next Cyberpunk. So they're in full speed right now. We'll see what happens. All right, Summer Game Fest, boys. So next weekend, we are a week away, and less than a week away, really, from when things kind of kick off. So a bunch of people flying into LA on Thursday, because really everything kicks off on Friday with the Keighley Showcase next Friday. But even before we get to LA and SGF and everything else kicks off, we got State of Play on Tuesday. So their PlayStation's kind of leading the charge Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific. Me, Travis, and Hoeg talked about this a week or two ago. When they announced it, basically said Wolverine is the focus for PlayStation, and they're talking about an hour of third party, kind of other partners and announcements and things. So Joe, being the PlayStation guy, if you will, or the one who kind of focuses here, what are you guys expecting? Are you hearing anything? Is anything leaked that I might not have seen? Are you expecting any other first party titles? What are you thinking about State of Play?
I know that Kyle's trying to rewrite history, and he said that he thought that the State of Play was going to be the big one, and I go, no, that was me, Kyle. I said this State of Play would be the big one, and so that's my biggest issue so far. Is that Kyle's trying to rewrite history, but I think it's about time we get to see more of what the back half of the PlayStation 5 is going to look like. So I think, no doubt we're going to see all the God of War stuff, right? The Faye game. I think we get a glimpse of the TV show. And I think we see 2 or 3 of PlayStation's first party games here. Like, Fair Games is going to be there. Okay. Possibly Media Molecule. It's been long enough, and they've been talking about how they're making an open world.
Are they still alive?
They're still alive.
Let them live.
The 13 people that are there are working as if they were 26. And I think we get a hint of Intergalactic again. I think it's there's just so much leading it up for this one being a bigger State of Play with the Alamo cross promotion, with the countdown, with like just them telling you got a week and a half to, figure out your plans type of announcement. I think we'll see Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 there. If not, that's the only one I kind of debate it. Like, I think we see it this year. I just think it's either State of Play because PlayStation still has some type of marketing rights to it, or SGF because Square wants to really show that this is for everyone now. Okay. But yeah, I think we then see more partnerships. Like, we see like Resonance there, right? With Remedy, right? Or Resonant, whatever.
Resonant, yeah.
You get to see like oh my god, what's the other one? Like Assassin's Creed, like more of the holiday lineup, as it were. So I think that's what we get to see.
Black Flag Resync.
Yeah, Resync. There you go. So yeah, I think I think we're gonna get to see a lot of games that we should get excited for, pumped for. Will it be like, oh my god, we see every single plan that PlayStation has, or every single like project that first party's working on? Probably not, but I think we're going to get to see 2 heavy hitters there, I would think.
Okay. All right. By the way, we have a wild Hoeg alert who dropped in just to say Spectre is absolute shit.
Which is all the more evident that it must be good.
It must be good.
Actually, that looks fine. Fair point.
Yeah.
All right, Hoeg. Hope you're having a good weekend with Mrs. Hoeg and the Hoeglings.
I would like to talk about PlayStation. Oh no, you go ahead.
The what?
I thought you were opening for somebody else to talk about PlayStation.
Please go ahead. I was just going to continue on Joe's thoughts. Go.
No, you first.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, I could see Final Fantasy VII Remake, the third. I do think we see it this year as well, Joe. I don't know. Do we even know if PlayStation has the marketing for the entire trilogy, or is it like a piece-by-piece deal?
That's the thing. It was supposed to all be exclusive and then like timed, and now I don't know. Like they're really talking about like, hey, every platform, like they really want you to know, hey, this is more than just PlayStation, just so you guys know. Rebirth 2 comes out on Switch 2 on Monday or something like that. So I think while it's in the zeitgeist of like the Nintendo and the Xbox fan, drop it during the SGF and get all eyes on the game is kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, I think the state of play is going to be legitimately big. The last one was really good. So I have high hopes. I really do.
Okay.
I think it's
yeah, I mean, as many people have said, right? They're putting it in like Alamo Draft Houses and theaters, so you would think it's going to be a bigger show this time. It's over an hour long, so we'll see. Still laughing about the fact that we get a remake of one game that's going to spread out over like 8 years, but that's another topic. Yeah, I think we'll see Kina, right? Probably Scars of Cosmora. I did see a rumor, no idea how valid it is, so take it with a big grain of salt. But I did see someone post that Hogwarts Legacy 2 is going to make an appearance at State of Play.
That makes sense.
I could see it. I mean, that seems to make sense. It seems to make sense for that getting ready to be shown, especially given the whole HBO series coming soon and all that. And PlayStation, I think, has the marketing to that too, so that makes sense. We also got leaks this week about Rayman returning, right? That kind of spread all over the place. So I could see some of that at State of Play as well. We'll see. So go ahead, Luke. What you got?
I think PlayStation is really in a unique spot because I don't think they've had a very good generation for a lot of reasons, and you can point to the lack of new IP being released, single player games being released. You can look at the detriment of their multiplayer suite, Concord, Marathon, Destiny 2. Like there's a lot of ways to look at PlayStation right now. But I think one of the things that's going to be really interesting is in the time that they were going through planning this State of Play, this event, this showcase, their HD Twin counterpart Xbox went through a leadership change, has a suite of games that are releasing, some multi-platform, some theoretically exclusive. PlayStation is setting up the reception for the PlayStation 6, and this State of Play has the potential to address all of those things. So how do they approach these problems? How do they talk to an audience that might be considering switching or is looking at an attempt at culture shift over on Team Green? How do they approach that and say, hey, Team Blue is still where you want to be? If they are indeed stepping away from PC, how do you incentivize people to go buy a PlayStation 5 when they're $900 or potentially a PlayStation 6? They have a lot of work to do to justify themselves to their fans that might be frustrated and to endear new fans to come to them. And I think like you look at Horizon Lego that they put on Switch, that was an attempt to bring people into their ecosystem. Do you see other attempts, perhaps better ones, to bring people in? How do you address that when they're going to be financially locked out given hardware? So it'll be interesting to watch them work because I don't think a God of War anything short of a reboot is enticing. Certainly not playing as anyone but Kratos is as enticing as people might hope it would be. I don't think Spider-Man 3 would be it. Wolverine would be it. I just don't think the sequelitis level of PlayStation is going to land, and Intergalactic is certainly very far out. Coupled with all of the news articles that are going to be written that are going to have caveat pieces of Activision, Destiny, Bungie, Concord, Marathon, and they're gonna have those little, nitpicks in there. And so I'm really anxious to see how PlayStation addresses those things in passive ways, because they make fantastic video games most of the time, right? They've got good hardware that has sold really well this generation. So how do you recapture a narrative? So that's really what I'm getting at. I just want to watch how they open up this season of announcements. What do they have that Keighley couldn't get, that Xbox didn't get? What do they have that's so special? What are you going to do to showcase to an audience that is hungry for good news? PlayStation fans deserve some good news, because they have not gotten it. They have just not gotten it. So that's what I'm anxious to watch.
Yeah, man, they got a lot to navigate. There's just, I don't think there's anything enticing anybody to get a system at this point. Like, the only thing that they can get is like literally, like, the only thing that's gonna make people buy anything right now is Grand Theft Auto. And I think at this point, I think all those people that bought it already. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
You don't think so?
No. You are vastly underestimating how much of an audience Grand Theft Auto has. It is a system seller. There's going to be a whole bunch of people who don't own PS5s who have to buy them.
No doubt. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, the people that have a PlayStation 5 for like God of War and like, their Uncharted or whatever, they got them already.
And I think hardware costs also lock some people out, Travis.
100%. It's just everything's getting
lock some people out, but people take a mortgage out on their home to play Grand Theft Auto 6. They will.
And Strauss is confident it will be a system seller. Obviously, he will be. He's Strauss Zelnick, but I think Travis is right.
I know people who haven't played games in years who were like, I sold my PlayStation. I don't really game anymore. And they're like, I'll probably pick up. Like, literally, I was talking to this guy who used to work in the games industry and now doesn't even game like at all. And he was like, when's Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out? I'm definitely going to like get back into it just to play that. And I'm like,
I think it's helped by the fact
there's a lot of people like
years too. Yeah. Like
it's helped by
I agree with you, but
anticipation.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do generally agree with Luke's sentiment of like if you look over the course of the generation, Joe's talked about this probably more than anyone on the show here. It has been disappointing. And I don't even know how to comment on it half the time, because PlayStation 5 as a console and as a platform, as PSN, as an ecosystem, has still been wildly successful, which is baffling to me. But
it's not baffling to me, because most people don't care about exclusives or what company made it. They just care, like, are there great games on a platform that I like or am familiar with? And I think PlayStation has earned a lot of credibility over the years, especially with its work in the PS4 generation.
Their brand strength is there still.
Their brand strength is there. And then because, like, I don't think the average consumer notices that there's not a lot of first party, because they're just seeing like a whole lot of games on PlayStation. There's more games on the PS5 than there have ever been on any other platform before it, as it always goes, because games are exponentially created now. And I think they're just like, you don't really notice it when you're playing James Bond, that like they didn't come out with a first party game, because you don't really know the difference. I think that's how most people think of it.
Yeah, probably.
Just good games coming out.
Yeah.
I think at this point,
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what we get. State of play. I mean, it's only 2 days away as we sit here, so we wanted to do a show that night to talk about it, but it's just not in the cards with timing. So we'll see what we get, and we'll talk about it along with Summer Game Fest here soon. But
we'll be reacting live over at the Trophy Room to the show, and then immediately afterwards, followed at the Trophy Room. So go check that out.
Okay. There you go.
What do you mean reacting live at the Trophy Room? Like on the show?
Like on the show, yeah.
Trophy Room or in a trophy room?
I mean, aren't we all in our respective trophy rooms? These are all my trophies. These are all my prizes that I've won.
So this must be this participation trophy thing that I hear so much about.
100%. I did real good. In soccer when I was a kid, I kicked the ball into my own goal.
Nice.
Was that real?
Yeah. Still counts as a goal. Just wrong team, but
I remember very explicitly not receiving a trophy because my team lost and being not happy about it.
Sucks to suck. We got alarm clocks.
Yeah. I'm old, so I won't comment in this regard.
I think maybe they were just trying to tell you to wake up earlier, maybe get some practice in next time. That's what the alarm clocks were for.
Perchance. But I use that all throughout.
Yeah, I zoned out for half a second. I have no clue what we're talking about.
Joe and Travis just keep taking tangents. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. What are you guys doing at the show? You guys just going what are you doing?
We're gonna react live to the trophy, in the trophy room to the PlayStation State of Play, and then afterwards we're gonna record the whole episode.
Where are you doing this though? We're
like this. It's doing it like this while the show's going on. That's it.
Okay, so you guys aren't going to be in LA at this point.
No. That's on Thursday. I'll be in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is pre SGF. So
got it.
All right, Travis, I'm moving on. Friday is the Summer Game Fest Showcase, the Keighley Showcase. Friday, June 5th at 2 p.m. as well, Pacific. Last year we were in the audience for that. It was kind of long, kind of had weird gaps and downtimes. Maybe that, that can vary depending on your game preference, of course, game preferences. But it was a long show last year with, the interesting stuff we get at the Keighley shows with like ads and partnerships and weird stuff. No real clue what's going to come this year. I kind of searched some things. There's a lot of rumors out there. I mean, plenty of guesses, but I don't think people really know. There's rumors of Resident Evil Code Veronica remake showing up here, Injustice 3, which I figured Luke would be excited for if it shows up. New Bloober project we've talked about. But anything you're really hoping for here out of the Keighleys this year?
The Keighleys.
I'll be brave. I think Nintendo makes a presence.
You think Nintendo makes a presence at Summer Game Fest Showcase?
Yeah. Because I want to see more Duskbloods.
Oh, you want to? That's not. Is that Nintendo?
I mean, listen. I think From Software has broad appeal.
That's a game on Nintendo.
It's on Nintendo.
That's not
That's not Nintendo.
That's like saying Nintendo showed up because
Joe, you ignorant slut.
But it's a Nintendo. It's a Nintendo exclusive.
No, this is absolute ignorant slut territory. I'm with Luke on this.
Jesus Christ! I said one thing about Parcheesi. This guy's fucking losing his mind.
There's blood in the water out here right now. Yeah. So you think FromSoft is going to show Dustblood there, which is a Switch 2 exclusive as of now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's still not.
What do you mean as of now? You think they're gonna? That's got to be a deal. They signed a deal for that. I don't think that's changing, right?
I don't know.
So what we want to see at this showcase?
Thank you, Luke.
I don't know why I was left out of the room. That's what I want to see at the showcase.
Yeah, but that's not his point. Is that's not Nintendo showing up? Nintendo's not making that game.
They're publishing the game.
Joe would like to see Duskbloods, and I think that's a great call out. I think a lot of people would like to see Duskbloods. It's a game that we absolutely.
Am I losing my fucking mind?
Because
I think they'll show GTA.
When I think back to my various,
you really think that?
Oh, jeez.
Now you know how I feel, Luke.
I tried. I was trying to help you, buddy.
All right. You really think that, Travis?
Yeah.
You think GTA is going to show up at the Keighley Showcase?
I do.
Okay. I think you're crazy. What do you guys think?
I think it shows up at IGN Live.
I think we should be.
I can tell you, it won't be showing up there.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard.
Yeah, I think there's no way in hell.
June is when
they had the plant, the pot guy out there. Remember that in the Keighley Showcase? He had Alexander the Pot. You're not saying, oh, Dustbloods, that's not great, but GTA is a possibility.
Our problem wasn't with the idea that Duskblood would be shown. It was with the statement that Nintendo will be there is represented by FromSoft, a different company being there. That was our problem with that statement.
Published by Nintendo.
Okay, so here's what I think back to
with on Nintendo's device. That's really
one of the cool things about SGF is that it's a lot of times it's stuff that we don't know we're excited for, that we don't know exists, and that's what I'm most excited for. I think back to the games that I really gravitated to from SGF, and some of them were complete surprises and built from Luke lore, right? Arkham Shadow being one of them, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, but it was stuff that came out of nowhere. I had no idea they were going to be there. That was really interesting to me. it's the stuff that we don't know that I get most excited about. And that's true of, I think, all of these showcases, because a lot of what we know ahead of time, because they like to get ahead of leaks, control their narrative. Call of Duty 4 being shown is kind of the evidence of that most recently. 1047 Games having Impulse, but not showing much of it. Certainly trying to own their own narrative this time, because they made some drastic faux pas there.
That was last year at this show.
It sure was. It sure was. And I interviewed that person specifically because it was so interesting. And they made a good game. And so like your reception to presentation is massively impactful here. So how do we watch these games that we don't know about show up? It'll be interesting to see how Keighley navigates his own ego in this. And I don't mean that as a slight. I mean that sincerely, because he's had the Muppets mock him in his relationship with Kojima. He's brought in Lucy James to be a voice there. And so genuinely, is he ready to start relinquishing the vision of SGF and Game Awards away from the Keighley's into something else? Will be fascinating. But it's the stuff that I don't know that I'm excited for, because I don't know what else I can be excited for. I have a finite amount of excitement at this point, and it's occupied by Gears, by Halo, by so many of the stuff that I already know. What else do you want from me in terms of excitement? That's the cool part, because it's their job to make us excited as the audience. And that's going to be the fun part. There were a lot of games we saw at SGF last year that I'm like, yeah, I want to play that. And a lot of it I've gotten to, right? They had a lot of really good horror stuff last year that I'm like, yeah, I want to see more. And so I love that genre. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. I really hope cozy games aren't a thing. That really sucks the wind out of the room when they have all this level of excitement.
Go on, Travis, go off.
No, I'm not done. And reduce the amount of anime back to back. Those anime JRPG style games that were back to back. Remember last year, we all consistently were turning to something like, is this the same game? And we were not sure. They need to address and adjust the pacing therein to sparse stuff up, because
I guess
if a game looks similar,
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Luke is the one here calling for less diversity in the games industry. That's actually right on point.
In the slightest.
No, that's what you said. You said I think I heard fewer Japanese was what I heard, and I also heard
back.
Yeah, I heard you say
they should not be back to
You're
back.
like, I don't want women in the games industry. Can we get rid of all the cozy games? I feel like there's just too many women in the
Luke,
games
I think we need
fewer Japanese people. Can we get those out of here? Furries are weird, right? Let's do away with
They are weird.
They are weird.
Yeah.
They are weird. At a certain point, you got to stop. But no, I think it's important to have. Don't do that. I present to you. That's such an entitled take. I think genuinely, if you're going to have games that you want to see and be seen, it's important to make sure you can discern between them. Okay. I'll take my check now, Ains.
He also just said that he can't tell the difference between various Japanese games.
I meant it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come on, you can tell the difference between Hawkeye Star Rail and Hawkeye Star Rail. Like they're all
what?
Every time it's a Hawkeye Star Rail or
Joe's joking with Travis.
I don't know what that is.
I don't even know where to start right now. I'm at a
Let's
loss.
start with the furries.
I will say the pacing to Luke's. I'm going to try and distill this down to an actual point.
I made a good point. Travis just decided to be Travis about it.
No, the pacing has been poor, as I prefaced previously with some of the Summer Game Fest Showcase. And you're right. I think they can do a better job mixing the games up they show in certain segments. But you got to keep in mind, Luke, those games aren't for you. They're not for me either. I don't play them. Millions and millions of people do. So, keep that in mind. No, I don't. He's like, no, I won't keep that.
I'm going to dig my heels in on this one. This will define me.
Very good. Very good. Go off.
Oh boy.
I'm going to argue for I'm going to argue for maybe a greater diversity of games. I think it's cool when games showcases do the thing that's in their title, and they showcase the potential of the games industry, whether it's
yes, I could have gone second and attacked the first person's speech just to make myself look good.
Sorry, I'm actually just saying something that is what I believe. If it has any overlap with the things you don't believe in, that's purely coincidental. But yeah, I kind of think it's cool when we see kind of a large breadth of cool ideas and things that can be accomplished in the games industry at the showcases. So I'm going to argue that that I want to see a whole bunch of cool stuff. That said, showcases really aren't for me. They're like hype videos for games that 30% won't even come out. 100% will come out like 4 years from or longer for now. So they are a little too theoretical, and there's a lot of bloviating that goes on that I think is cool for some people who are really just trying to get excited and keep their passion for games alive, but not as exciting for people like me who are just like, wondering what games they're going to play next week, next month, etc. What games are real. It's just the games don't feel real a lot of the times in these shows when it's just like a CGI cutscene and a logo, and then the game gets canceled 3 years after.
Some of the showcases have gotten better about that, but we do see that quite a bit still. You know what I mean?
I don't think Keeley's shows have gotten that much better at that. I think a lot of his big announcements are just that.
He wants to be the first to talk about a project.
He wants to be the first one to talk about it. He wants to show Kojima's trailer of people just having faces or whatever the heck that was.
Luke
doesn't exist.
Luke, stand back, stand by. I'm with Luke on this one, man. There is way too many ads and like gotcha games in there. Again, way too many Honkai Star Rail type games. And it's all paid ads. You know what I mean? Like they're just paying for advertisements to go.
I hate to break it to you, but the whole show is a paid ad.
No, I get and I totally get that. That's why like let's kind of trim this down instead of making it like almost 2 hours long.
Oh, I'm 1000% with you there. I just like you have to see the show for what it is, which is like this is
marketing.
This is him funding the Game Awards show that he spends a bunch of money on at the
100%. But they're those like here's the thing though, most of those games that are getting the spotlight are paying multi-million-dollar deals to get their games shown there. So it's like I don't need the 6th Honkai Star Rail ad on this showcase. Right, like that's where the pacing could be improved, and I think he has improved it quite a bit. But I do want the focus on let's showcase these developers and the versatility of them. Then also let's kind of remove a bit of the commercial aspect so that it's paced better, that more people are engaged. I think maybe that's what
he's faced that criticism for a while. He talks about developers, but then doesn't follow through with it on the actual show very well. I think he has improved to some degree, to your guys' point, but we'll see. But I think you mentioned this last week, or maybe just in our chat, Travis, but right after SGF Showcase at 4 p.m. So again, we are probably looking at a 2-hour show of the Summer Game Fest Showcase, but right after it is Day of the Devs, which is usually a good showcase, a lot of great content, good indie games, developers speaking directly. So that's at 4 p.m. that day as well. So just be aware of that. And I also wanted to mention, I forgot to mention up top, by the way, for anyone who's really like, there's way more like showcases than we're going to talk about here today. So if you go to summergamefest.com and literally just scroll down on the main page, it shows all of them. And that includes things like there's all kinds of like regional specific showcases this year, which seems to be growing year over year. So there's Southeast Asian, there's Indian, there's Dutch, there's Latin American, there's Black voices in gaming, there's women-led development in gaming. So there's a bunch of these like individual shows that if any of those interest you, all the details are on the site as well. So we just don't have time to talk about every single one of them, obviously, but you can check that out. But Day of the Devs is obviously a long tenured one, very well regarded in the industry.
Since 2012, Travis, I think.
Has it been that long? Yeah, I know it's been a while. So
and it's a Double Fines thing. I was at the one in March for GDC, Game Developer Conference, and so I suspect it'll probably be a lot of the same games being shown off. It's cool. All right. It's a great place to play some indie games and just walk around, and it's also kind of just a party in the games industry. I'll try to go to that one. You got to get tickets for this. I've done no research on any of this stuff. I'm just planning on showing up and seeing what I can elbow my way into.
So SGF Showcase is a ticket. Xbox Showcase is not open to the public. Play days you have to be invited to. I'm sure as a representative of IGN you could do that. I would find out about it. Play days is where like all the appointments are from Saturday to Monday. to play all the games.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then IGN
I'll
Live.
just elbow my way into stuff. That's my
plan.
I
mean, just
because I work for IGN.
Yeah, wear the IGN badge, you'll be fine.
Show up and be like, yeah, just let me in, dude.
Honestly, the most annoying part of the weekend is the fact that all the
or else I'll rate you guys a 6.
The worst part of the weekend for people there is that all of the things we're talking about are at different locations. So you're literally trying to scamper around different parts of LA, which obviously anyone who knows LA that's not great. So
do you scamper places, Ains? Is that your main mode of travel?
I do. Yeah, that's usually how I do it. Yeah. If I'm not
scampers and he frolics.
Can you imagine me frolicking? Good Lord.
I kind of can. I feel like you would be. I feel like you know how to skip well.
Yeah.
He does. We held hands last year.
Yeah. Do you guys skip?
Down South Figueroa Boulevard.
He's just putting our business out there. I don't know why. IGN Live, Travis, you're actually coming down to LA Saturday and Sunday, June 6th and 7th. It's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. Travis, tell us what's going to leak.
Yeah. Well, you can already go on IGN.com if you want to see what will leak. But yeah, I'm going to be hosting a panel on the main stage at IGN Live where there will be announcements. I've been angling for this gig for a while, and I finally learned last week that I got it. So I now have a business reason to go and join y'all in LA. So I'm going to be there Friday night and then through Sunday night. And the only thing I have planned is the IGN Live presentation where I'm going to be involved in kind of production. I'm going to be hosting a Q&A session on the main stage, which will be cool.
Awesome.
And you said in the pre-show that we get to kiss at the JW.
We do. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold him to it.
No, you got to kiss your mom's on the lips. I've always believed that.
Is that Saturday or Sunday, or do you not know yet?
Sunday. I think my segment is at 2:30. But yeah, you can come say hi to me in the flesh if you're going to be in the Los Angeles area. I got nothing going on really. I'm just going to be walking around and hanging out with the boys. That's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys have a very busy weekend.
Yeah,
I have one obligation in total, and then probably I'm sure it'll fill up quick, right? I'll probably visit the team and they'll start to put me on stuff. But my current plans are basically just like chill in LA and then do like one thing for like 2 hours and then be done. So
okay. Yeah. Well, we'll catch up for sure. Sunday is funny enough. Sunday's a tough one because Sunday is the Xbox Showcase and the Gears Direct, and for a small group of people, which we're fortunate to be, also Xbox Fan Fest. So 25th anniversary of Xbox. And so they're kind of going bigger this year. So that is Sunday. The showcase itself is at 10 a.m. Pacific. It is 2 hours again, from what I understand. So an hour and a half showcase and then 30 minutes on Gears. This week, they reconfirmed that Gears is coming this year. They pushed Fable to February, which I think many of us who have been following this saw that coming. It's not necessarily that Fable's not really close to ready. It's that if you have Gears coming out this fall and GTA is coming this fall, where the hell do you put Fable? So Fable in February just makes a lot more sense to me. But
I also think they needed the time.
It's probably polish. Yeah, of course. Probably, a few extra months can't hurt, right? But anyway, Xbox showcases have been great the last few years. A lot to look forward to here. The current kind of rumors out there are, in addition to obviously Gears and what we know, Clockwork Revolution getting some more time in the spotlight, Plague Tale Legacy, Witchbrook, which is a long-awaited next game from Stardew Valley creator, Concerned Ape. So that game was,
and I love cozy games. I'm excited for that.
We got news.
We won him over. It's so easy.
I know. It only took like
we just
10
had
minutes.
to shame him and guilt him.
Looking for Wolfenstein 3. I don't think that's going to show up, but we heard that that's in development, which is fantastic. Do you think we see Blade? Any update on this magical or mythical Blade game? Does it even exist?
It exists.
Honestly, yeah. I'm upset about it. Honestly, this whole showcase.
You're upset about the showcase?
Yeah, I'm livid about it.
Go.
Is this is this a bit?
Please. No, this is real. This is a real frustration. Okay. because Asher Sharma comes in here and she saves it from the crooked and evil Phil Spencer and co. And she goes, "Oh, we're going to change Xbox. It's about Xbox." And you know what? We're capitalize it. We're not Xbox anymore. That's so whatever. It's Xbox, right? And now they come here and they wine, they dine us, and they're telling me at this showcase we're gonna see other logos besides just Xbox. We're gonna see PlayStation logos and Switch logos. And honestly, guys, I don't know about you guys, but that makes me sick. That makes me want to throw up. Because I thought this was about to return to the rebellious spirit.
Allow me to elaborate for anyone that doesn't know, because I had no clue, because I'm off
Pause
Twitter.
for 1 second. And sorry, I misspoke. Thank you, Nissa, by the way. Concerned Ape, Stardew Valley, next game is Haunted Chocolatier, not Witchbrook. I was mixing those two games up. Sorry about that.
Well, I'm out. For anybody that
Haunted Chocolatier.
Oh, we're going back. Okay.
Go ahead.
You can look it up while he's talking.
The context for this, because Joe had to genuinely explain it to me, because if you're not on Twitter, you don't know what you're supposed to be angry about.
Apparently. Or the Xbox player voice.
Or the Xbox Reddit that they made. Essentially, there's a small cohort of very loud people who are frustrated that in this return to Xbox form that Sharma's leadership team has created, there will still be multi-platform games showing, or from Xbox, that are showing the logos of PlayStation. Are we
talking about this, really?
Oh, so that is what Joe is alluding to, is that people are frustrated by that, which I do not have time nor energy to be frustrated about. I do not need to have a discussion on it, but I do think it matters for anyone that didn't know what Joe was talking about. That is what he was saying.
I'm not holding back tears. I'm just frustrated.
I don't want to talk about it. No, I'm not talking about it. I'm just moving straight on. All I want to see beyond the obvious, Clockwork is one of my most anticipated games. I think it's going to be stunning when that releases, but I am a Gears guy. Go figure. I've talked about Gears. I adore Gears. I'm just very anxious to see Gears EDay and hopeful that the wait for Gears has been worth it, and Coalition comes out full bore firing with a banger of a campaign, but more importantly to me, a full multiplayer suite at launch. Because if it doesn't have the full suite that keeps people's interest, I'm going to be very disappointed.
So that's where I want to jump in, Ains, because you know the Gears is equally close to my heart. We sat next to each other when we saw this announcement, and I swear to you, we almost had grown man tears. Truly, like we were so excited for this one, and I was kind of bummed that it was not Gears that was moved to February, because I worry about Gears needing to be reestablished as a pillar franchise, competing with Call of Duty, competing with Grand Theft Auto, because I do think there's more overlap in those audiences than there would be with Fable. So I was almost hoping that we would see Gears bump into February, because then you're still getting 3 pillar franchises from Xbox Pantheon, Halo, Forza, and Fable in 1 year, in its anniversary year, as it were. So I was kind of bummed on that one, but for me, I'm very excited to see just what Xbox thinks it's going to bring to the table to harbor in this new version of itself, this rebellious nature. How are they going to approach this showcase? Because there've been such, it's been said on many different shows, to include my own, everything that she has done has been low-hanging fruit wins, and appreciated, because it's nice to see that, right? But this showcase, much like PlayStation's, will define the interpretation and impression that this new brand has going forward until the launch of the next Xbox, until Helix is out. So how do you showcase combat or campaign evolved? How do you capitalize on the interest in Forza? How do you make Double Fine look good after Kiln? I'm not knocking Kiln, but like, you're talking about a mass appeal. And what do you do with Clockwork? What do you do with Blade? What do you do with State of Decay 3? What are you doing with these things that are still in queue? The long-running thought process for Xbox is we've known what they're working on for like 6 years at this point. all the way back to 2020, we saw State of Decay 3 being teased, and Perfect Dark, which they canceled. Blade was showcased a few years ago. And it's like, all right, we know a lot of what you have coming. How are you going to approach showing it to us, when you're going to release it to us, what platforms it's going to go to, how you're going to deliver that messaging? Are you listening to your Xbox Reddit and your massive YouTubers, or are you going to wider appeal? Is it niche? Is it not? Where is Ash's presence in this? Where is Matt Booty's presence in this? Those are the interest points that I have from an analytical side. From a non-analytical side, you've already shown me the things I love, Halo, Forza, Gears. What else you got? Right? Like, what else you got that I'm not already thrilled for? Doom, but is that at QuakeCon? Right? Like the Doom DLC. So I don't know what else I can be excited for on the game front, because short of releasing old IP that are locked from licensing into backward compat, I don't know what surprises they could have in store for us. And that's what has me excited. Does that make sense? It felt coherent, but okay.
No, you're good.
It does make sense.
Yeah. No, it's all right.
Is that Big Mad Mo in the chat? Good to see him. I haven't seen that in a while.
He always hangs out with us. Good friend.
That's right. Only on Xbox. No logos. Stand back, stand by. Big dog, woof woof. Do you guys think we're gonna get? I'm just talking to the chat. The chat's energized. They're furious about all this stuff as I am, as rightfully.
Move on.
Do you think we're gonna see Gears launch on PlayStation? Like, is that gonna be an exclusive? Yeah, EDay.
I don't think so. I think that's gonna be Xbox PC only.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know. Obviously, I'm just guessing.
It's gonna be a really fun 3 months for them.
Because I mean, Forza 6 isn't on PlayStation.
Yeah, it won't be for a little while, Joe. I really don't think you're getting it soon.
I'm gonna have it pretty soon.
It's great, by the way. I love it.
I'll see it at this
Forza 6 is amazing.
I love it.
It's incredible. But no, I don't know about Gears. We'll see, obviously, but no, I think that's going to be an Xbox and PC only launch. Now, if you ask me what I would prefer, again, I've said many times, I don't care, and I think Travis is in the same boat too about this exclusivity conversation. If you're talking, I just said I want multiplayer to be a full suite and to be successful, and Luke's point is valid in the sense of multiplayer games in that vein, as we may remember Gears 2 and Gears 3 in the heyday of Gears multiplayer. The world is not that anymore, right? It's very hard to kind of put that multiplayer suite and make it successful out of the gate. Especially Gears is a pretty sweaty, unique type of multiplayer. And so the more people, the merrier, as far as I'm concerned.
Especially when I'm thinking about it so again, I was trolling. I'm a huge Gears fan, been there since day one. But as a Gears fan, I want this to be successful. And, for me, I just don't see the runway that this game has longevity wise for its multiplayer when you have we're all assuming it comes out in September, and then you got Call of Duty, and then you got, Grand Theft Auto in November. How they bring people back to that suite. If it was me and I was in the decision desk, I would be launching probably Fable in September and launching Gears in February.
Yep.
Giving it as much time away from all these big multiplayer experiences, but also to have people that are possibly tired of those experiences and looking for something else. We saw that with Arc Raiders. By the time, February, March came around, there's been a big drop off. It's then you have something here and new, and it's in the middle of tax season, and where you get this second wind from consumers. So, I just want to see it successful. I don't care where these games are. I don't care if you see a Last of Us on Xbox. I genuinely don't give a shit. I just want as many people playing the franchise that I love as possible. And that's why I feel, as much as I think you guys are probably right, this game is going to be Xbox PC exclusive. I do wish it was coming to PlayStation, because that's where you're getting the biggest, case of casuals out there. So yeah, I understand this game ain't for everybody, and you're right, it's fairly niche. I just want it to be successful.
Yeah, and it could be on PS. We don't know.
Casuals and Switch.
Go ahead, Travis.
I think the biggest case of casuals is on Switch, but it's not going to come there.
Cozy players.
Yeah. Well, Gears is a cozy game. I I don't think them releasing Gears at this point is that big of a deal. I think you're overestimating the overlap in audience of Call of Duty and Gears. They have dedicated fan bases, and I think there's also just a group of Gears players that like that's going to be their main. Grand Theft Auto's gravity is unavoidable. I think you face the same problem in February as you do in September. You just face it in a different kind of pre or post problem. And I also think Fable has more overlap with GTA than Gears does.
Really?
I think if you're gonna have one of those get out of the way of GTA, I think it has to be Fable. They're both comedy games. One of them is worse at doing comedy than the other one. They're both open world type games where you get up to silly shenanigans. One is much better at the open world silly shenanigans. And I just think if one of them is trying to avoid GTA's black hole like gravitational pull, you get Fable out of there.
Yeah, I see. Here's the thing. I'm going to push back on the overlapping of audiences because I think we've seen over the last few months, Call of Duty, was it the Black Ops 7, right? That's the latest one, right? Yep. You saw a huge fall off of that player base, and kind of it being split amongst games like Battlefield, right? Sure, another first-person shooter, but very different in terms of how you're engaging with it. But also, you saw a lot of players jump to something radically different that is arc raiders, right? So I do think that there is the one thing that we're not thinking about is perhaps the like TikTokification of multiplayer games. What type of streamer is going to make that viral clip in X game? I think that matters way more now than genre. Like I think
that matters to some extent, but what you're describing is like the friend slop movement where friends like jump around from game to game and they go, oh, there's this new distraction that we're all going to play for like a week and then forget about forever. I just don't know if Gears is ever going to be that game. Arc Raiders is a bit of an anomaly because it was like a cultural touchstone at the time and kind of blew up in a way that no other games in that genre have. But I do think that Gears has a very different, and so this is kind of just true of like all existing IPs that have like a old fan base and are trying to like recapture what people love. Sure. Is that it's a burden and also a gift to be in that position, and it just has unique kind of challenges that franchise has to take on. But I don't think the biggest problem they face is Call of Duty taking all their players if they make a good game. It's like, can you make a good cover-based third-person shooter that is relevant in 2026 and keeps people's attention for long? You're going to have that problem no matter when you released it because people's attention is finite and fleeting, and there's 1,000 games every month that come out. And so I think you just have to kind of get used to that. Believe in your products, make good stuff, and then a little bit of luck, obviously, to go with it. And that's basically every single game in the games industry in 2026.
Yeah. Yeah, I get your logic. I see it. I don't agree with it fully.
That's fine.
Yeah. I do worry if Gears still has the relevance that I want it to.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. But can it regain it, to Travis's point? Like for the people, Gears it's long tenured, obviously, but we've been 7 years since a Gears game in Gears 5. This is obviously not even a continuation of Gears 5. This is like a reset and going back. Again, we're going back to our earlier conversation on Bond. This is the origin story of Marcus and Dom and, Emergence Day. Can it interest enough new people in the franchise that we all love, or some of us love? Can't remember if we all love it or not.
Well, Gears, absolutely.
Yeah,
we all love Gears.
Can it interest enough new people to really make it what we would call highly relevant in 2026 and 2027? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm hoping, obviously, it does, but I don't know.
It's also the thing I like least in series, which is like they try moving forward in the franchise and they get a little bit of pushback on it, so then they go, all right, we're just going to go back and do the thing that everybody
and they did it with Halo and Gears, and it pisses me off.
Bring on the old protagonist, will appeal to the nostalgia play. It's very like Star Wars Rogue One to me. Not that that's a bad movie, but it had a very specific way of getting people to love it, which is they were just like, hey, remember all the stuff you liked? Here's that. We're gonna
and I loved it.
Stuff. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna work for a certain group. I mean, there's the Ainses of the world are gonna eat this shit up, right? Like Marcus and Dom back in action. 100%. But you're also gonna completely.
Why am I catching strays? I just told you I hated that they moved away from the progress of Gears and Halo.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you also love the old Gears and are for sure gonna like play this, right? Like, yeah. But my point is that
all
like if you're a Gen Z, Gen Alpha guy, and you didn't have the same kind of love for Marcus and Dom, like you have no real reason to make this the Gears that you finally hop in on, because that sort of stuff doesn't appeal to you, and so you have to give a different reason for people to care. I don't know what that reason is right now, and I have my doubts that there is a reason.
But that's why I want to see the showcase. That's the exciting part.
Yeah,
that's why I also think that's maybe why they chose Gears for the direct portion of this, like we've seen the past few years them do, is to allow that time to really show new people what Gears is all about, and to see if they can get people interested. Plus,
I feel like they've had that chance a million times. I mean, how many remakes and remasters of the first Gears game have we had at this point?
Too many, because the last one was not good. Reloaded, whatever the hell it was called. But what was I going to say? I think Gears does have a unique position. I'm trying to look at the positive. If you think about the Call of Duties of the world, the Battlefields, which was the best-selling shooter last year, right? M-Pulse, which we're going to see from the Splitgate devs, and all these games, Gears is very distinct compared to those games. It's much 100%. More gruff, I guess maybe the word, right? It's much more gory and bloody and dark. And I feel
it's also the last man standing in terms of competitive third-person shooters. Like, what other competitive third-person shooters are there?
Yeah. So I just think like they have to lean into that, to your point. Like, it has to be a very polished third-person shooter, but it has to lean into its characters and world and kind of that darkness, I think, to really stand out from your here's your next shooter. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. Well, that takes us through Sunday, and then just wanted to mention, of course, that Travis obviously be covering IGN Live, as we mentioned, and then Luke, Joe, and I and the crew at SG will be covering Play Days, which is where you'll see the coverage of all the other games come out. So all the videos, all the articles on games that were either announced or coming later this year or next year. So that should be really fun through that week, and there'll be a lot of stuff in that early part of June. So it's gonna be a good time.
Also, I still want to repeat this as well. Forza Horizon 6 is scheduled for the second half of 2026.
Scheduled for what? I'm sorry.
Second half coming out this year for PlayStation.
Yeah, I figured it would.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't they say that? Like that's
No, but when I said it before, you guys are like, no way that's coming out. No, it's too soon.
I think it's too soon.
I didn't say that.
I said that. He's talking about me. I said it.
Okay.
I just want to let the audience
keep
know.
it exclusive longer, is what you're saying?
I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I just don't think it's happening. I don't have a dog in the fight, and Forza's great. I hope more people play it. I don't think it's coming out. I think that's an early next year thing for them.
You don't think it's 2026 to land on PlayStation?
Correct. Delay the PlayStation version.
And delay may not even be the right word. I just think the resources are being put into Fable and other things in those studios, and that's why. I'm not advocating for it. I got nothing against it being on PlayStation. I think it's a great game. I wish Joe had it right now, because the other night I wanted to do a convoy and couldn't.
Man, we really got Luke on the back foot ever since the whole, Japanese and
yeah, and I stand by that. They've got to fix the pacing there.
Ever since his rant from the 1940s.
Let me just clarify.
Yes, I do feel.
I heard him say that PlayStation players should have to go to separate schools. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
That's what I heard him say.
Yeah, we'll clip it. Don't worry, we'll clip it.
But
so it's gonna be a great week of gaming for everyone. Obviously, all jokes and everything aside about showcases and pacing and the games and everything else, no matter what you're into, there will be something for you this week. There's just a insane amount of games that are going to be covered, and I'm really excited to catch up with everyone again in LA and see what games we're going to see, because there's there's a bunch of things that we know are unannounced too, or that can't even be mentioned yet. So pumped for that. But
also,
anyway,
I got the Psychonauts 2 art book that I need to give to you, Ains.
Are you bringing that to LA?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
My final SGF prediction is that there will be a section about the Black Flag resynced that will be way too long, and the game comes out like a week after that show. That's one of my predictions.
Okay. All right, one of your predictions. What else you guys got? Any other predictions you made on other shows that you guys want to yell out?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a Microsoft product on a state of play, and I do think that's Forza, and I think we see a release date of it.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So you think we see Forza this Tuesday with a release date?
Yep. I think the Xbox Showcase. What's gonna be? Here's my question: do you think the one last thing is Gears of War, and it leads right into the Direct? Because last year was Call of Duty, and everybody hated it. Right?
The end of the actual Xbox portion of the showcase. I don't think they do that. I think they'll save it. Probably the biggest negative point of last year's show was ending on Call of Duty. So no, I think Gears will be the direct portion of it. I don't think you see Gears before that, personally. Okay. I do think, if I'll give you a prediction, and this is an easy one, we're going to see Gears hardware, including a controller, probably a headset and everything else that goes.
You think that's an easy one? They haven't really been doing that this gen. They did those like skin wrappers, but there's not really any.
They just did Forza stuff.
Forza controller,
they just did Forza.
Oh, controller. I thought you were talking about the console. I keep waiting for them to do it.
They'll probably do a skin. They do those wraps, that you can put on the Series X.
They've sent me a couple of those wraps. All my Xboxes are now wrapped up because of that.
I have a Starfield one. Yeah.
I have this Starfield and I think the Gears one as well.
But yeah, I was trying to think through the Xbox Studios. I don't know what else we may see. Luke, what do you and Logan been debating on the Xbox side?
Truly, we haven't. And I don't mean that in like a diss. Like, we know so much about what's coming from Xbox that it's a question. I want to see State of Decay 3, which I think we'll see.
We're due for an update.
We are. They did the big alpha thing.
No, not coming.
You will not see it.
Hey, Travis, can I just tell you, you're no fun. I just want to get that out there. So I would love to see State of Decay 3. We know Grounded 2 has a slew of updates this year because they did that. They showed it last year. Really enjoyed the launch of that. They're set to another one.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see live service stuff like Elder Scrolls and the like. I really am curious whether Starfield shows up in any way, shape, or form. Because I don't see it. I think that game is quietly.
I don't think we ever see a sequel.
I think it's quietly done.
I think we see Fallout 3 remake.
Yeah.
I think it's the time for it. Yeah.
Why not? If you got anything Fallout, pull it out. If I'm them. So
wouldn't they do New Vegas because of the TV show?
They would do whatever they got ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready for whatever, Travis. The pretty well validated rumor is that it's Fallout 3.
That makes sense. I feel like
the next year thing.
I feel like the Bethesda team is like secretly salty that like the most loved Fallout game is the one they didn't make.
Is the one they didn't
make. I feel like it'll never get a remake for that reason specifically. Even though they now work for the same parent company.
3 in Vegas, I'd say.
3 is for sure up there. It modernized the series, but they'll always be a little salty that like Obsidian just took their engine and was like, here's a better game.
I mean, they're peers now, Obsidian's a talent.
Exactly. They're on the same team, but I still feel like if you're at ZeniMax and you were at Bethesda and you worked on Fallout 3, you're probably looking up the Obsidian.
See, that excites me because as a person who loves the show, I can't get into the games because they're so damn buggy and old now. So I'd love something like modern up, pretty graphics.
Don't worry, Joe. It'll still be buggy.
True. I want it to look a little better, maybe run a little bit better.
You're gonna turn that first corner and the NPC you'll just be like,
I always wonder.
Oh God, here we go.
Because do you guys know this about Fallout 3 that the subways are people wearing helmets? So they couldn't back in the old engine. They didn't have the technology to make a subway move. So there are humans underneath the tracks wearing a hat that is a subway train. And when you get on the subway train, you're stepping into their head.
That's pretty funny.
And then you can see that's how they got around that. So I figure like if you remake the game, how do you deal with stuff like that? Because obviously in 2026, they're not going to have like a human underground whose head you step inside of. So what do you make a whole new technology around? I just have a lot of questions with the remake. These are the questions I would ask if I had an interview with the maker of Fallout 3 remake. I'd be like,
I love little facts like that about like weird game dev stuff. Like one of the ones I really like is in Days Gone. They couldn't, Unreal Engine 4 didn't support a bike, a motorcycle. So they had to take a car and they had to fold it in half and make it like a car that was just, folded. Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to build a game in Unreal Engine 4 and one of the things you know about it is that it doesn't support bikes, maybe don't make a game where the whole
don't make your motorcycle
is, hey, how about
game
bike culture? Yeah, like it's like that is a bold move on their hand. Like that's crazy.
Hey, but the bike ran great.
Great. Great's a strong word there, but yes.
Wow.
We got a super chat here from good friend Eric, which
good friend Eric, also known as Game.Positive, offers $2.79 in Canadian maple currency. Halo 7 mic drop to end the show. Press X for doubt.
It's not happening. I would love it, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
They're gonna
before you see that.
Yeah, they are gonna tease from what we know anyway. They're gonna tease the next Halo at Worlds at Halo Fest this year. So yeah.
What a tease.
And when I say tease, I probably really, really mean tease.
Like just the logo, you think?
You're a few years away, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So yep. But thank you, Eric. Yeah, I wish I want that more than ever to be true. Of course, assuming that they don't go and reset the damn IP again, like Travis was just talking about. So anyway, guys, it's been fun. Thanks for hanging out. Looking forward to seeing you guys later this week, which is crazy to say now. Let's run down here. Luke, I'm going to hand to you first. Shout out anything on Expansion Pass or you and Logan been doing or want to call out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the inclusion in the show today. In the last few weeks, I had a slew of interviews, and I would love people to check them out. Talk to the Forza team, which was really an enjoyable conversation, as well as the people behind GOG, which I think is a really cool conversation to have as far as DRM is concerned. And then for the Halo fans, the developer behind the fan game Spartan Survivors that was allowed to happen by Halo Studios, I had him on as well. All three were really interesting, had their own interesting points. They really didn't get picked up, unfortunately, which I was kind of bummed about, but I hope that people do take the time to go watch them because I think they're fascinating and enjoyable. And so please go check that out. And then, of course, we're doing a lot of stuff for Summer Game Fest. We're going to try and do a lot of exclusive stuff for our members to thank them because they're the reason we were able to get there. And so I'm nervous and excited about the content we have coming. We have plenty of interviews this year, which we didn't do last year. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So there you go.
It's cool. Yeah. And sucks about pick up YouTube's a mess right now. It's very frustrating. But that is what it is. Joe, what you and Trophy Room been up to?
We're just doing our thing, man. This week it's all about the state of play. So again, we're going to be reacting to it at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the proper show immediately afterwards. And then we're going to go to Summer Game Fest. Hopefully, what I would like us to do, we're going to be talking about it this week, is like doing some coverage on the ground. So like getting our thoughts on the Keeley show, on the Xbox Showcase, all that stuff.
Joe on the street?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like on the street coverage. So yeah, I'm excited about the possibilities in the next week and a half. Yeah, okay. Make sure you join us live 5 p.m. Tuesday.
Awesome. There you go. There are links to both Luke and Joe on Blue Sky in the description as well, so you can find their stuff. Travis, what you want to shout out, man?
I've got some coverage of Black Flag Resynced. Played that game. I'm gonna have more coverage of that. Stay tuned for an announcement from IGN on that front. We've got I did a review of Subnautica 2 as my most recent review. You can catch me talking about it on the Kind of Funny Games Daily broadcast from last week. Yeah, right now I'm in between reviews doing a Crimson Desert playthrough to see if I maybe will review that. And in the meantime, you can catch me live on IGN Live, either in person or on the stream, where I will be hosting a panel about a thing. Thank you for your attention on this matter.
Oh, God. Awesome. Yeah. Look forward to hopefully finding time to catch up with you next weekend. So that'll be great.
Hopefully. If I don't see you, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, you may have to come like over to the other area rather than us going to IGN, but we'll work it out.
I'll do that. I got nothing going on Saturday. I think I'm just going to like the romance novel bookstore with my wife.
So let's talk offline. But yeah, tell the peeps at IGN you need a pass to SGF Play Days, and then you can meet us over there and hang out.
Sure, I'll do that. I'll elbow my way in. I'm sure it'll be fine.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. By the way, bookstore's called The Ripped Bodice. If anybody's in LA, highly recommend.
Okay. So Dee's coming with you to LA.
She is, yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
That's lovely.
All right. On the SG side of the house, as these guys said, bunch of coverage coming this week. We have 4 people going to LA for Summer Game Fest. So a lot more to come in the following couple weeks. And stay tuned next weekend, of course. Alex's review of 007 First Light will be going up later today. If you want to read more about that, as I said, he adored it. I also was fortunate to play something that is under embargo this week, so I can't talk about it right now, but I'm looking forward to sharing that. I believe on Tuesday I'll be able to share that, so that'll be
Halo 7.
So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, thank you all for hanging out with us. Obviously, we will not be here next week. Stay tuned for content on the channel regardless, and then we will circle back a week after next, back with the Hung Hoagie. And
don't like that
conversation.
You guys weren't here last week. He's
they missed it.
Oh God, no.
He dropped trout on stream and showed us the hog that he was
heard a thud.
Pretty brutal. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Just honestly, put me and Ains in our place for sure.
That's why he's married.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, thank you all. Have a great week of gaming. Enjoy
gavel.
whatever about the showcases that you enjoy, and we will see you in a couple weeks. Till then, peace.
Bye.